Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is October the 28th. Very, very special day. We have, I think it is 5 games in the NBA, 6 games, 5 games in the NBA today. So we'll jump into those. But before we jump forward, we always look back. Yesterday, I left a little bit more money on the table. We talked about this on Sunday. Just really, I don't know, feel like I got a feel for the NBA, but then sometimes I don't. So I'm like a little second guessing myself a little bit. But Sunday would have been a good day if you tell the plays on the show. Yesterday would have been another good day if you tell the shows on the play. If you tell the plays on the show, I think it was 4 plays on the recap, and they went 3-1. I ended up going 2-1 yesterday. So I did make some money, but I do feel like I'm leaving a little bit on the table. Where did I bet? I bet Orlando first half because the spread had got too big for the full game. They looked terrible last night. Defensively, they got to figure it out. Maxey looked like prime Allen Iverson from 2000 last night. So that ended up being the only loser to start the night. And then the 2 winners were Boston first half. Thought that they potentially could run out of gas, but knew that they wanted their first win, and then Zion got ruled out. So Boston first half was an easy winner. And then Portland last night. Talked about the Lakers being in a bad spot as well. Should have got there with the Jazz. That ended up being a winner, even though it took overtime. We talked about that yesterday. Houston first half was another winner we talked about yesterday. I didn't play that either. And I think it might have been one more that I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I think I'm seeing the board pretty clear. I say all that to say I think I'm seeing the board pretty clear. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Let's see what you guys are thinking before we jump into it. For today, Helping Hands is what it do. Chris, he says, quick story time with Chris. Had a banger parlay yesterday, missed by 1. Sick, but can't wait for these bangers you about to drop. Yeah, let's get into it for today, man. Let's see. Cliff says, I'm an idiot for picking the OKC Dallas under. It did stay under though. So you're not an idiot at all, Cliff. I think that cashed. For not picking it. Yeah, I was gonna say that cashed easily, and I agree with you there. Let's see. No, I did not stay up watching the Dodgers and the Blue Jays last night. I did not. What up, Free Sauce? Appreciate you for tapping in. Barry says Blazers, Warriors, money line. Had to fade the Grizzlies team. Doesn't look too good, and had to fade my short-handed Lakers. Yeah, I agree. Rui, Aiden, and Sharp at 15. But hit a plus 230. I like to hit that. Young KO says Spurs. Money line, Keontae George points and assists was a huge hit for me. Glad you cashed. Good morning, Carlos. He says, let's get it. Went 3-1 yesterday. Spurs, Nuggets, and Rockets, all cash for me. Magic was my only L. Yeah, the Magic was an L for a few people last night. Good morning, Tag. Says it's Cole FD is in. I like the Milwaukee Bucks on the money line. Kale says, hey, Chris, keep up the good work. I appreciate what you're doing. You and Ski are like my 2 favorite, are like the 2 cappers I view the most. Appreciate that, Kale. Appreciate that for sure, man. And I try to keep up with Ski too. Try to make sure I'm watching Ski content and supporting them as well. Ski is an absolute excellent, basketball mind. Love listening to Ski handicap the games. All right, let's jump into it. Good morning, Blunt. I'm not going to be able to get through all these comments. Good morning, Prolific. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, though, man. I really, really do. What up, Jay? Appreciate you for tapping in. Dom says he played Grit Jazz last night for the first time in years, and he said, I think the world is getting ready to end. What up, Dom? Good morning, Tariq. Jay Sunshine said Tagree's over 38.5 live. Cash Lakers team total under 12.5. Y'all made some money yesterday, man. I like to see that. I actually love to see that. All right, so let's jump into it for today, man. So first up, we'll start with jaXon, your AI sports betting tool. I gave you guys 2 looks for jaXon yesterday. The first one was actually, it was a player prop, and that player prop was, I literally just looked at it. I should have wrote it down. I did not. What was the player prop from yesterday? It was, because I can go back and look at it in my thread, but I don't feel like doing all that. I know what it was. It was Stephon Castle over his I think it was 21.5 points plus assists. Let me double check it real quick. Yeah, he killed that line. He had 22 points alone. So that was a winner. jaXon, I gave you guys a total play for jaXon, which was over from the beginning. That was a under between the Orlando Magic and the Philadelphia 76ers. And Orlando's defense, man, it's bad. I know you got primetime Maxey yesterday looking like AI, but even BJ looked really, really good. BJ Edgecombe continues to look really, really good in his freshman season. Yeah, that under never stood a chance. Anyway, let's jump into it for today. I feel like I'm moving slow. So first up, we got jaXon EA Sports Betting Tool. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check it out to get the promo to check jaXon out. I definitely highly recommend it. So I asked jaXon today for the best total bet for NBA. I kind of want to like lay off the little player props. I know jaXon went 0-1 yesterday, but I'm interested to hear what total jaXon likes today. And jaXon says, so my thought, what is the best total in the NBA today? jaXon likes the New York Knicks and the Milwaukee Bucks over the 228.5. It says the total is set too low, primarily due to primarily due to the significant defensive personnel issues for the Knicks, which perfectly align with the Bucks' offensive strengths and the Bucks' known perimeter defense struggles, which plays right into the hand of the Knicks' primary score. So the Knicks' defensive weaknesses, the biggest factor here is the absence of Mitchell Robinson, who's ruled out. Robinson is the anchor of the New York Knicks' interior defense and the massive presence on the glass. His absence directly benefits Giannis Antetokounmpo, who has been a monster on the glass this season, averaging 16 boards per game. I don't think I knew that. This news confirms Giannis has crushed the Knicks on the glass in recent years, and without Robinson, the Bucks will have a clear path to easy second chance points and interior scoring. So then you got the Bucks' defensive weaknesses. On the flip side, the Bucks have historically struggled with perimeter defense, and Jalen Brunson is poised to exploit this. Brunson remains the focal point of the New York Knicks offense and has absolutely torched the Bucks in recent seasons, scoring 44, 43, 38, 36, 45, and 44 points in 6 of his last 8 games against them. God, okay. Even if Karl-Anthony Towns or Miles McBride are questionable, Brunson's usage will remain sky high, ensuring the Knicks generate enough offense to push this total over. And then there's some recent performances as well. It says the combination of weak Knicks interior defense and the vulnerable Bucks perimeter defense creates a perfect storm for a high-scoring affair. Both teams have clear avenues to scoring efficiently and making the over 228.5 a strong pick on the board for a total. So that's the thought process for that's the one play I want to share today, is the over in that game between them. I kind of like that from a player prop perspective. Maybe Brunson points and Giannis rebounds too. But let's jump into it, man. Like I said, check jaXon out if you guys are interested. It is linked in the description. And let's jump into the game. So first one up, we got the Philadelphia 76ers and the Washington Wizards. Philly will be playing on the second leg of a back-to-back, of course. And I wanted to check. This is also third game of 4 nights, right? Like Philly had Sunday off, but they played on Saturday, right? Yeah, because they played Charlotte on Saturday. So I guess it is third game of 4 nights for the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't think I wrote that in my notes. Let me just go back and double check. So yeah, I did write that in my notes. So yeah, second leg of back-to-back with travel, third game of 4 nights. Philly has actually won every single game. I think they're one of 4 or 5 undefeated teams in the NBA right now. And absolutely blasted Orlando. They covered the first quarter, first half, and full game last night against Orlando. Jumped on them early. I'm watching that game like, oh, it's about to be a long night. I'm pulling my hair out early yesterday. Injury report-wise, Joel Embiid did not play last night, but I was reading some stuff that said that he is expected to return tonight. So we don't have him in right now. I'm not sure what's going on with Dominique Barlow. I know he missed the game last night as well, but never mind. I know he's not coming back. He's set to undergo a procedure on Monday to address a right elbow laceration, and will miss the 76ers next 2 games before being reevaluated later in the week. So you won't have Dominique Barlow. You will potentially have Joel Embiid. Jared McCain and Trent Watford, I think, will remain out. And then the Washington Wizards side of things, Bilal is listed as out. He continues to be listed as out. And then Trey Johnson, their rookie guard, is listed as questionable due to low back soreness. I feel like NBA teams don't really play around with rookies, especially with back injuries. The combination of rookies and back injuries. I don't know if Trey's going to play in this game, but we shall see. I'm just speculating. The Wizards had a really good showing in Dallas, right, after losing to Milwaukee to start the season. But they really, really struggled in that last game to contain the guards for the Charlotte Hornets. Conca had a big game. I think he had 20 points, which is a career high for him so far in his first couple games. And then LaMelo Ball had a monster triple-double. He had his 11th career triple-double, finished with 38 points, 13 boards, and 13 assists. So this Washington Wizards team, in my opinion, is still going to struggle defensively. And Philly is going to be able to absolutely score the basketball, in my opinion. Philly so far, they're the second best offensive rated team, which is crazy. Second best offensive rated team, 10th in effective field goal percentage. They're second in turnover rates, and they're not turning it over. And Washington don't force a lot of turnovers. They're actually forcing the third fewest. Washington is 21st in defensive rating. So I do feel like this game will be up and down. It feels super easy to take the Philadelphia 76ers minus the 4. This line had actually gone up to 5.5 this morning when I first woke up. And now it's looked like it's coming back down, all the way down to 4 on a couple books. It feels super easy to take that, but I think that's the way that I would look in this game. What else did I have in my notes? The other thing I talked about, Washington, their only good defensive game actually came against Dallas, who's still struggling, to kind of figure out the point guard situation over there. So they've been lit up by the Bucks, got lit up by the Charlotte Hornets on the second leg of a back-to-back. Now they get Philly on the second leg of a back-to-back. I think Philly can win this game by this small margin. I do agree with the total going up. Looks like it opened 237.5, is up to 238, and I agree with that as well. I think Philly should be able to get there. So Philly minus the 5.5, where their team total up and over 121.5. I think that their offense will keep it going in this game. If you can do that against Orlando, especially Orlando team that had way better rebounders than this Washington team, I think they should be able to keep it going. So that's my thought process on this one. I would be looking at some maxi props as well, especially watching what LaMelo Ball was able to do last night. Let's see what you guys are thinking here before we move forward. Tariq says, "Good morning, Chris. Denver live was a good casher. Had Warriors and Trailblazers, lost on Orlando and Detroit." He said, "I'm aligned with jaXon. I took the over 228.5 before the show. I like it." Once says, "Chris, I know you hate looking towards my Phillies, but I think they might be back." So Blood, real quick, and this is for everybody, right? I'm watching the game last night, and what I will say is I don't know how sustainable the three-point shooting is going to be for the Philadelphia 76ers. Like, I watch Edge come shoot really, really well. I watch Maxey shoot really, really well. Kelly Oubre looked great. He was killing me in the first quarter. I think Philly hit 5 threes in the first quarter, if I'm correct, last night as well. And I just watched Orlando, like, I don't even know if that's guardable, though. Orlando was trying to do a good job moving their feet. I thought it was a desperation spot for Orlando as well. They couldn't get the job done last night, though. They just absolutely couldn't. So, you make a valid point. I just don't know if they're going to be able to shoot that well throughout the full season. I'm pretty sure they're probably shooting, like, the highest percentage or top 2 or 3 as far as 3-point field goal percentage right now. Let's just check real quick and see. Let me just refresh this. So Philly is shooting a whopping 42.9% from the 3-point line. That is number 1 in the NBA. Golden State is actually number 2 at 41.7%. So, Philly gonna be able to knock down 16 threes a game, which is the second most in the NBA. At the best percentage, then yeah, they're gonna be able to beat the Washington Wizards. So that's my thought process. Tariq says Washington first quarter. What up, Mitchell? Appreciate you for tapping in. Just glad to be back on the stream with you guys. Make sure you pressing the like button for Chris. Yeah, if y'all run the likes up, it definitely helps out the show and helps out the algorithm. I appreciate that for sure. Anthony says, "Good morning, Chris. Hit the like button, community. Appreciate that." Cliff says, "Got -3.5 on my book. Might take Philly." I feel like this opened at 4 yesterday, but I could be tripping. Appreciate you for tapping in, Matt. Good morning, D. Perry. He says, "Wow, the Magic treating me like this, treating both of us like this, man." I bet him last night too. I'm not betting the Magic. So here's a little sauce on the Magic. This is my thought process anyway. I've been watching this Magic team play. It's easier for me to stay up and watch the East Coast games. So I'll watch all the East Coast games. I'm staying up for some of the West Coast games as well. But what I've been noticing about the Magic is defensively, they're not locked in. So the next time I take the Magic, I'm not even sure what their schedule is, but I'm just giving you guys my sauce. I was thinking about this morning when I was working out. The next time I take the Magic, it will be when they're playing against a super weak offensive team that they can absolutely dominate. Because if you look at their losses, they lost to Philly. Philly's offense has been, through the roof. They lost to Miami. Well, they beat Miami. Barely beat Miami. Did they lose to Miami? Or did they beat Miami? I can't remember if they lost to Miami or beat Miami. But the teams that they're losing to have really good offensive guards. And Desmond Bane, I hate to say it, he's kind of looking like a cone out there. We're going to start having to call him Desmond Russell, looking like D'Angelo Russell out there on defense. So I will be looking to take Orlando. Like, I know a lot of people going to be like, I'm not betting Orlando. I'm not going to bet them either if they're playing against a good offensive team. But if they're playing against a team that struggles offensively, I think that we'll see them start to dominate and probably end up covering the spread because we haven't seen it so far this season. What's up, Adam? Appreciate you for tapping in. Andrew Van Negro says, riding the chalk, Giannis, king of the court. Maxi, king of the court. Andrew says, love and be early here. Money says, yeah, I think Philly can get the job done. All right, I'm taking too long to get through these games. Let's keep going. Next one up, Hornets will be in Miami tonight. In Miami, total has moved from 234 to 240 and a half. We glanced at the injury report real quick, and the Charlotte Hornets have Trey Mann listed as questionable. Brandon Miller is going to be evaluated. He's going to be out without a timetable, evaluated soon. I think it's when they get back to Charlotte. I think this is their last road game, and then they go back to Charlotte. But he has that left shoulder. He left the game with left shoulder soreness against Philly on Saturday night. So you'll continue to be without him. No Grant Williams. And then Josh Green, of course, has not made his season debut with this team yet either. On the other side of things, Terry Rozier, well, I'm not going to keep mentioning Terry Rozier, but Simone Fontecchio is listed as questionable, of course, no Tyler Hero. And then jaXon, I think is how you pronounce his name, the rookie, is also listed as out. He has not played with the Miami Heat yet. So initially, I'm looking at this game yesterday, last night, and I'm thinking to myself, I want to bet over. I'm thinking to myself, I want to bet under. I think Miami's like, defensively, they're not that bad. I feel like they'll get it together. But then unders have not been good. And I'm glad I've laid off of them because we're positive for the season right now. And a lot of the times I do kind of try to find these unders to take. I'm not betting any unders in this game, man. 234 up to 240 and a half. And the more I looked into it, the more I kind of felt like I think it still could go over. So we look at the Charlotte Hornets. They are 3-0 ATS, including both of their road games so far this season. They covered the spread against Philly the other night. Probably should have won that game outright if they don't give up such a big lead in the fourth quarter. And then they beat the Wizards in the second half. I think they scored 88 points in the second half alone. So this is third game in 4 nights for them, all on the road. And they'll be without Brandon Miller in this spot. I think that's maybe why the spread has gone up from 4.5 to 6 in favor of the Miami Heat. Miami's a team that I really don't want to lay a lot of points with, but I do want to take them as dogs. Miami is also a perfect 3-0 against the spread as well. Remember, they just beat the New York Knicks at home as a dog the other day. And I like what I'm seeing from Miami on the offensive end, man. Both of these teams are really, really solid on the offensive end. Real quick, I'm going to give you guys some numbers to put with that. And then I want to talk a little bit about the pace. And then I'll tell you guys a player prop that I probably am going to take in this game as well. But I'm going to go in order. All right, so Charlotte is second in offensive rating, 5th in effective field goal percentage, 11th in turnover rate, 8th in offensive rebound rate, and 9th in free throw rate. That's really, really good. This is also a divisional game. We got to keep that in mind as well. These teams do play in the same division. Miami is 11th in offensive rating, 8th in effective field goal percentage, 21st in turnover rate, 16th in offensive rebound rate, and 12th in free throw rate. Here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Miami's first in pace. Charlotte is 6th in pace. So both of these teams are flying up and down the floor. I was listening to Bam Adebayo talk about this, and I got a quote from him. He says that the Heat's tempo is something that they intend to sustain, even into the postseason. Quote, we want to keep the pace up the whole season, not just for the first 5 to 10 games. When you build as a habit, then you get to the next stage of the season. That's when it really matters. That's when people tend to slow down. And for us, we want to keep that pace. In the playoffs, everybody's trying to play half court, and we're going to get the ball out of the rim and we're running. You feel alive because everybody feels involved. I kind of think that Miami can score in this game specifically because the total's a little too high for me, especially missing the line as much as we have so far. And then Simone Fontecchio potentially not being there as well. I want to transition a little bit. I want to go over to Outlier. There's a link in the description if you guys are new and want to check Outlier out. But Noam Powell makes a ton of sense in this game. So this is his points specifically. I didn't look into points, rebounds, and assists, but I like Noam Powell in this spot. It's probably my favorite player prop on the game. You can get him at 22.5. I do think that this number is going to move. But I love what Bam just said about the pace. Noam Powell, you can see here, 28 points against Orlando, 29 against the Miami Heat in the 2 games that he did go over. And this game right here where he went under against Memphis, you can come down here and see he only played 24 minutes because of the 30-point blowout. Remember, they blew the Memphis Grizzlies out in that game. So he didn't need to score as many points in that game, just 15. But But then if you come up here, you click on just this season, you can see here his season numbers. Dude is shooting 48% from the field and 50% from the three-point line so far this season. Like, I love Norman Powell in this spot. Charlotte is going to have to prove it to me defensively. I think that Charlotte's a really good offensive team. I think that Charlotte will give up a ton of points, and I like Norman Powell in this spot. I think Norman Powell will continue to get the shots up, and I think that they'll continue to fall for him. So Norman Powell, actually my favorite player prop on the board for today. Let's see what you guys are thinking, and then we'll move on to the next. Embiid is out according to ESPN. I think they were resting him on the first leg of the back-to-back last night, Cliff. We can watch it and see though, but that's my thought process. I like this comment by Doms right here. He says Brandon Miller said Paul George was his idol, and true to script, he stays on PG. Oh man. Tariq says he is leaning Charlotte plus the 6.5. Think they can keep it close. It wouldn't surprise me. 7 is a lot of points, man. Miami's look good, but we haven't seen them as a favorite like this. So I agree. The Wiz says Norman Powell finally getting his chance to shine. He is, man. Perfect fit for him too, in my opinion. I agree. They needed a score, especially without Tyler Hero being there. Like, dude is hooping, man. What up, Brian? He says, what's up, Chris? Clippers money line for me. Might take Wizards first half also. Okay. What up, 3 times? Says, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Let's go Sixers. Band playing big too. I think Miami is in the groove. I think they cover. Okay. Hornets, I think here. So some back and forth in the chat. I don't feel strong about the side. And when I don't feel strong, I don't just make it up either. You guys know that already. So I kind of want to bet the total over, which led me to Norman Powell points over the 22.5. And I'm not a big player prop guy, but I like Norman Powell over 22.5. Probably gonna lock it in sooner rather than later because I think it's gonna go up throughout the day. At least the juice on the 22.5. We'll see. All right, next game up, Kings and the Thunder. Game will be played in OKC today. Line open at 10. It's up to 10.5. And the total has actually come down, 227.5. It actually went down. All right, so now it's actually, this opened 229.5 last night. That's what I wrote down. Now it's down to 227.5. Down to 226.5 on a couple books as well. So you need the injury report for the Oklahoma City Thunder, of course, because they are playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. First game back home after, a 3-game road trip. They played the Pacers in Indiana. Then they played Atlanta on Saturday. And then they beat the Dallas Mavericks last night. And they actually had to fight tooth and nail in the fourth quarter. They actually got smoked in the fourth quarter. Almost messed around and lost that game. They were winning by – they let the lead be dwindled down all the way to 3. Ended up winning by 7. And end up not covering that spread last night. I think they would end up laying 7.5 in that game, and got outscored in the fourth quarter, 25-14. Now they're back home and they're playing one of the worst defenses in the NBA in the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento is 0-2-1 against the spread so far this season. They're also playing on the first leg of a back-to-back. Sacramento has a game in Chicago tomorrow. OKC, of course, we talked about playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. OKC has actually owned the Sacramento Kings. They've won 5 straight versus Sacramento, 4-5. They've actually won by double digits. And when I say double digits, I mean 13 points or more. Sacramento, looking at their game log, they've only played one good defensive game so far. They actually came against Utah. So I don't know how much credit you want to give them for that. I don't think Utah's going to be the greatest offensive team, but I guess their offense has looked decent. Anyway, I say all that to say this. If I'm betting this game, I'm betting over. I think I know that the Thunder may not take this game as serious, in my opinion. I know that they're at home. We'll see who ends up playing, but I think the Thunder will absolutely be able to just kind of, name their number from an offensive perspective against the Sacramento Kings defense. Like, I don't believe in the Sacramento Kings defense at all. And I don't know if people had a chance to watch DeMar DeRozan post-game interview after they just lost to the Lakers 2 nights ago. But he talked about, he got up and kind of left, in the middle of the interview and was talking about how many free throws, you're just kind of blown away how many free throws that Austin Reeves took. Well, watch how many free throws Shai Gilgeous-Alexander takes tonight. If you think Austin Reeves shot a lot of free throws, wait till you see SGA free throw attempt. He might, get ejected from this game. He might not even go to the podium tonight. So Sacramento just haven't proved it to me defensively at all. I know OKC can win this game by double digits. I don't really want to lay this many points on the second leg of a back-to-back, but I'll give you guys something that I did find last night. So since the 2019 season, I looked at unrested double-digit home favorites, which is what the Kings are today, right? Unrested double-digit home favorites since 2019 and they faced an opponent that actually is rested. Because I mean, this is a pretty rare situation. You don't see too many double-digit favorites laying too many double-digit home favorites unrested playing against a team that does have rest. Those games are 48 and 21 to the over. That's 70%. So I think Sacramento, I mean, they got enough offensively, in my opinion, to be able to score. I think Sabonis can have a big game. When we've seen OKC struggle so far this season, it has been two bigs. So you need a big game from Sabonis. You need DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine to go out there and do what they do as well, be able to knock down some shots. I think this game goes up and over the total, though. If not, maybe a look towards Sabonis. AD had a pretty good game last night. Pascal Siakam had a pretty good game a couple games ago as well. OKC, not that they don't have bigs to guard the rim, but they've been giving it up to centers. So that could be something, but I do think that it goes up and over the total. OKC, I think, should be able to get whatever. They can kind of name it, how many points they want to score. And I think the Kings will play fast as well. OKC will probably play fast. Kings probably turn the ball over a lot. So I like over in this game is what I'm playing if I'm playing anything in this spot. I'll go through the comments real quick, and then we'll move over to the next one. So Sacramento is 22nd in offensive rating, 12th in effective field goal percentage, though. And I know that OKC has been really, really good defensively. I just think this could be a spot where they let up. OKC is 16th in offensive rating. They are turning the ball over less than anybody else. And defensively, they have been really good. 4th in defensive rating, 6th in opponent effective field goal percentage. But they did just come off a game where they beat Atlanta without, a majority of their starting five, and they beat Dallas without a point guard last night too. So that's my thought process. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. OKC still a lock for the third quarter money line. I don't even know what the third quarter money line is, but I don't bet these before the game. That's just my thought process. Dude says shout out to Dallas for that cover. Yeah, they fought hard in the fourth quarter. Dallas got to keep Clay on the bench, man. Clay had 8 points last night. I was this close to sending his points under 10.5, under 9.5 out yesterday. I ended up not doing it. I didn't do it because I didn't play it, but I kind of wanted to fade Clay last night. Jay says that Breeze pull up in front of Dennis was nasty. No regard for human life. Kings plus 10.5 for real. Nat says OKC is nothing for me. Tariq says 227.5 is too low for OKC game. That Washington line just dropped to +4. Took the Kings plus 10.5. Tariq says he just bet the over. I like over. 10.5 for pass plus 10.5. Flag at 2 fan. All right, let's keep moving. Next game up, we have the Knickerbockers and the Bucks. And I'm gonna be quick on this one, honestly, because I don't feel strongly about it. My thought process tells me I want to take the Bucks plus the points, especially with them being a home dog. But I don't like that the Knicks are coming off a loss against the Miami Heat the other night. Offense looks a little suspect at times, and the Knicks, I don't think the defense is ever going to be like what they could potentially be without Mitchell Robinson, who was listed as out. Mitchell Robinson will miss this game. Gershon Yabusele is listed as questionable. Karl-Anthony Towns is listed as questionable. Deuce McBride is listed as questionable. If you like the Knicks, you don't like to hear all that. If you like the Bucks, maybe you wait till a couple of these guys get ruled in or ruled out. You try to play it super quick. On the Bucks side of things, somebody mentioned it earlier, but Cole Anthony is listed as questionable. You kind of need Cole Anthony as a backup point guard, especially if you don't have KPJ, who will miss this game. Of course, he's not back. And Kyle Kuzma is listed as questionable as well. So I don't know, man. I think it's a really, really hard game to handicap, in my opinion. I do like what I'm seeing from Milwaukee. They are 3-0 against the spread so far this season. They got Golden State coming to town on Thursday. And then the Knicks, like I said, them just coming off a loss. Maybe this is just the Jalen Brunson game. Like, who gonna guard him? Ryan Hollins and AJ Green, Gary Trent Jr. Like, I think Jalen Brunson could go absolutely nuclear in this game, and Giannis should be able to, kill a boy. So I kind of like what jaXon was saying about both of those player props in this game. I don't feel too strongly on it actually at all. I know that the Knicks. Another reason why I really like the Bucks. Like I said, I'm not gonna bet the Bucks. I'm probably just gonna stay with this game. But another reason to like the Bucks is that they've been owned by the Knicks. They've actually lost 5 straight. The Knicks have covered all 5. Including all 3 of the games last season. So I'm pretty sure the Bucks remember that, If they can get a hobble, Knicks team coming in here, the Bucks are also coming off a loss, right? They lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers the other day, even though they ended up covering that number. I just don't like what I'm seeing from a point guard perspective. I know fourth quarter, when it's time to make a play, are the Bucks, especially if Cole Anthony doesn't play, are they gonna have enough, playmakers on the team to run the offense? I'm not quite sure about that. So that's the scary part for me in this game. But we'll see what happens with the Knicks and all the injuries that they have. I just don't feel super confident. I would probably look towards a player prop in this game, in my opinion. What's up, Markel? Appreciate you for tapping in. Bridges over his 3.5 rebounds. Antoine says. Blunt says they wanted to take the ball out of Brunson's hands, and the ball is in the hand, and the ball is in his hands even more. I'm taking the Bucks, man. Yeah, I can see that. Burrell says Knicks beat Cavs, Bucks lost to Cavs. Knicks money line. Okay. Brunson 30, Giannis 35, a plus 435. Rob says, as I mentioned, Tariq's like the over. I could see over, especially without Mitchell Robinson. I could definitely see over. I was a little conflicted on the total. I'm not gonna give you guys go through all my notes, but I was a little conflicted, so no need for me to really talk about the total too much. Dom says, as long as the Knicks have Brunson and Cat combo, they will never be good defensively. Took Gary Trent over his points, Brunson threes, and the Knicks minus 1.5. Also likes Miles Turner over his 1.5 threes as well. Okay. Maybe under. That says, Tariq says, the books have Giannis 10 plus rebounds at minus 130. They're expecting him to rebound. That's a fact. That is a fact. All right, let's get to the next game. Clippers and the Warriors are the last game on the board. Just double check the line. I see Clippers at 2 now. That's interesting. So, I'm sorry. Clippers are at 2, but that's only on Fnatic. So line is 1.5. It's consensus still, and the total has come all the way down. I don't know how much I agree with that. Total's come all the way down. So this opened last night at 228. See what I wrote in my notes. I wrote 226.5. So I saw 226.5. Our screen I'm looking at says it opened at 228, but it's come down. And we've seen a flip of favorites. The Warriors actually opened 1.5 point favorites, and now they are getting a 1.5 at the crib. This is not just a regular game. This is a divisional game as well. And the Clippers, for whatever reason, have owned the 76ers. So I've owned this Warriors team. So before we get there, though, Bills listed this out. Jordan Miller has not played in quite a while. He's going to be out for the Clippers. And then on the opposite side, the Golden State Warriors are expected to have Al Horford back to be able to contend with Zubac tonight. I don't think I didn't check this because I didn't stay up last night to watch that whole Warriors game. But I wanted to see really quickly how many minutes they played. I didn't think the game would be too taxing for the Warriors last night. -8, they ended up winning the game by, 15? So they got the job done last night. Let's see. All right, so Jimmy played 31 minutes. Draymond played 28 minutes. Kuminga 32. Steph 30. Brandon Brzezinski 32. So they didn't go all out last night. I expect them guys to be in there and play tonight. I think the Warriors are better than the Clippers. I kind of want to see it from the Clippers a little bit more before I bet them. But I don't feel too strongly about this game. I kind of wanted to watch the end of this game, see how things played out. Clippers do have the one-day rest advantage in this spot, though, and I think the Warriors being owned by this Clippers team. When I say owned, the Clippers have actually won 7 straight against the Warriors. They've covered 6 straight spreads against this Warriors team. So you could say Ty Lue has, Steve Kerr's number. Kawhi Leonard and James Harden have Steph Curry and, Draymond Green's number. But I think, with Kuminga with Jimmy Butler being there, I just don't want to fade the Warriors specifically at home. They showed me something in that game against Denver the other night. And I know, they weren't playing on the second leg of back-to-back in that game, but I kind of think the Warriors can get the job done. The Warriors have also been really good in the third quarter. I think they've probably been one of the better third-quarter teams. So if they do come out, lose the first quarter, lose the first half, maybe looking at them in the third quarter as well. I don't feel super confident in this game either. I feel a lot more confident in the first 3 games. So I won't bore you guys with my thought processes on this one. I think the total potentially has come down a little bit too low, though. Like I said, it's down 4 or 5 points already. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I feel like this Clippers team is. I've been saying this the whole time, but I feel like they're going to give up a lot of points in transition. Golden State will be trying to run to 23.5 in today's NBA seems super low. And it's not to say that both of these teams can't play defense. I just think they'll play with enough pace to get this one up and over the total. So that's my thought process. Maybe a look towards the over. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Will says he'll go Clippers money line, Warriors money line. So already some back and forth. Kuminga over his points. Horford is playing. He is. Blunt says Chris are the Clippers, the Warriors, kryptonite. They have been. Blunt. I don't know if they played last year after the All-Star break with Jimmy Butler being there, though. That's the one thing that I don't think I looked into that. I did look into the games that have been played. And the Clippers have owned this Warriors team. Absolutely owned them. Real quick, let's see. So April 13th, the Clippers actually beat the Warriors in Golden State in overtime, 124-119. This was the last game that was played. And this game did have Jimmy Butler. Jimmy had 30 and 9 assists in this game. Steph had 36 and 6 assists in this game. He had 7 of his 12 threes. They had Draymond Green, but the Clippers got 33 from Kawhi, 39 from Harden. They did have Norman Powell. He didn't have a great game in that game. He only had 11 on 4 for 13 shooting, 1 for 6 from the three-point line. Zubac also had 22 and 17. So I think this was the only game that they played with Jimmy Butler in. Clippers were 3.5-point dogs in this game. Meetings do typically go under. They do typically go under. I'll watch this game. I only bet games when I feel super confident. I don't feel super confident about this one. Clippers also off until Friday, till Halloween. They host the Pelicans. And Golden State is off until Thursday when they go to the Bucks. Second straight home game for them. I really like what I've seen from Golden State so far. Outside of that Portland game where they were coming off the overtime game against Denver, playing the second leg of a back-to-back with travel, they've looked really, really good. They gave up 139 in that game. All of the Warriors games have gone over so far this season, though. Four games they played, all 4 have gone over. The Clippers have also played in 2 overs and 1 under. I kind of feel like all these totals too low. If I bet it, I'll bet the over. Let's see. I'm on the Clippers. The Warriors will take the lead. I'll jump on them live towards the end of the fourth quarter. I think the total is criminally low. I agree with that. Draymond assists for LJ has been on fire. Markel says these games tricky. Not even gonna lie. Yeah, they are, man. And I'm the first person to be honest with y'all and tell y'all when I don't have a strong feel. Dom says the total feels like the market is overvaluing the Clippers defense. And I kind of agree with that. Real quick, if we look at the Clippers defense, I just told you guys every game that they play, well, they've only played 3 games, but the Clippers defensively are 18th in defensive rating, 8th in opponent effective field goal percentage, 9th in turnover rate, 24th in offensive rebounds. So they're giving up a ton of rebounds. And the Warriors offense, I know, is one of the best. They are 5th in offensive rating, 3rd in opponent effective field goal percentage. So their offense is really, really good. They are struggling turning the ball over, 19th in turnover rate, 24th in offensive rebound rate. So they're not getting a ton of offensive rebounds, but they never did. And they are shooting the 4th most free throws right now through 4 games so far. Over 223, I like the over 2. The more I'm talking it out, the more I like it. Peter says 223 is highest hidden over in the NBA since 05, 227.5 second. Okay, I like that. Ryan says, who's the replacement for Cole Anthony? Is it a fast-paced or a slow-paced guard? Somebody that can't guard Jalen Brunson, and that's not going to be as good as Cole Anthony would run the offense, in my opinion, Ryan. Kuminga over his rebounds, then he's getting the boards. All right, cool. We've been on here for way too long, actually. I really do enjoy chopping it up with y'all, but we took way too long on these games. Al Horford is not enough. Clippers money line. We shall see. I don't feel extremely confident. I kind of want the Warriors as a home dog, honestly. I would feel like less confident if the Warriors were like, I would like the Clippers if the Warriors would land a point. Last night, I would say, okay, cool. Like I can get a point with the Clippers. I'll take it. Give me 1 second, Ken. Let me finish. Thank you. I appreciate you, my brother. Give me a second, okay? Give me 1 second. All right. Time for me to wrap this up, man. All right. So Philly, I think somebody said this down the 4. No, it looks super easy. I would you can get a 3.5 on DraftKings right now. So Philly minus the 3.5 on DraftKings or their team total up and over. Norman Powell, I feel Norman Powell points just kind of scream at me, and that total is still going up. I see 242.5 on DraftKings. So Norman Powell over his points In Sacramento, I told you guys why I like the over. You can get a 226.5 though on ESPN Bet. So make sure you guys are always shopping around. That's why you use OddsJam to get the best of the line. These were the numbers when I capped the games about an hour before I started the show. So my thought process on all the games, man. Do me a favor, hit the like button for me on the way out. Resources are all listed here. jaXon, Outlier, Moneyballer, OddsJam. There's like 12 games tomorrow, so we'll get back into it for tomorrow. But check these resources out if you guys are interested in using the tools that I use to handicap the games. Show some love to the show, man. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. I'm going to go enjoy my birthday, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Enjoy your Tuesday. I'm out.